So this is Baruch Fleischman, and this is the Shaar number 5 for the month of Elul. We're learning this sefer called Shaar Hagilulim. So for information, and those of us who read Hebrew, the different chapters here are called Hakdamos. Now why, I didn't really pick up the idea of why they're called Hakdamos. Why should they all be called introductions? But that's what it is. So let's go over here and let's see what we have a little bit more to look at. So now we're going to bring something new to say something new on it. So when we talk about and we use the word nefesh, which is one level of soul, this concept, this level, only refers to Olam Asiyah. It says, and I mentioned, just not to get anybody to confuse, but in the Olam of Asiyah, the Olam of Atzilus, which is at the opposite end, which is the greatest light of the Ein Sof, he said there's also a nefesh there too. There's an Asiyah, then therefore, to that. But that's me digressing and going to different places. Let's see what the Matak B'Levash says. So he said, so all of the concept of ruchos, heim ba'olam yitzira. So there also we have the concept of the Shama, Heim Ma'olam Abriya. So now we see that there's these worlds. Amnam Rov B'nei Adam Ein Bechem Kol Bechinus HaChamisha Chalocha, because most people don't have all of the Bechinus that come from all of the different portions of light source. Hanikroim Nefesh Ruach Neshama Chai Yechida. Rak Chelak HaNefesh Bilvad, but most people have only the portion which is called nefesh. Asher Habakim Olam Asiyah, which is the aspect that comes from Olam Asiyah, and here we are in the world of wheels, in the world of action. Olam Asiyah, although Gam V'Zecha V'Yesh Medregos Rabbis, but also in this we have many different levels. V'Huki Hinei HaAsiyah Atzma, because Asiyah itself, Nechlechels L'Chamisha Partzufim, can be divided into 5 Partzufim. Gam Erik Anpen, which could be, the Siyah could be divided as an Erik Anpen, this word which refers to Keser. There's a Keser of the world of a Siyah, which is called Yechida, an Ava, which is called Chaya, the Ima, which is called Neshama, Vizer Anpen, which is called Ruach, the Nukve, if it's Nefesh. This is also part of the Olam Asiyah. So therefore we see the same idea, this concept of nefesh, which is a part of Olam Asiyah. Mechamesh Bechinas Narantchi is part of the Narantchi. Behind the Yesh Tikun Nefesh, Sheba Nefesh, Umakabel Osech V'Yesh Tikun Ruach Ben Sheba Nefesh, Umakabel Osech V'Chein Halo. So let me just translate that again. He says, so therefore we could say like this, that there's a tikkun, there's a nefesh that can come, that the light of nefesh. I want to try to help us out understand that by saying the light of nefesh goes into the concept of nefesh, so, and it receives that. In other words, the light of nefesh is received by the nefesh in a person. V'yesh tikkun ruach, there's also a tikkun that can be made in the ruach of a person, but it's the ruach of the nefesh. Because, as I said before, the nefesh has a naranche of its own. A makabel became hollow, and it receives it, and then, etc. So now we have a new construct. Let's try to work with the idea of these naranche as being a level of light. Now, what is the level of light? It means the pure, unadulterated light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. Now, it masked in many ways in order to keep it from causing us to disappear. So therefore, it's the adjustable, and this is the whole concept of that light is called the light of Narantchi. Now let's go on and let's read a little bit more. It says, that before a person can be able to reach the level of Ruach, and that Ruach that comes from Olam Yetzirah, Kedei the Sakno, in order to be able to perfect it and rebuild it. He says, Sark Shiyya Shalom B'Kol Chamisha Partsufin Nefesh Asiyah. The person has to be able to, before reaching the level of Yetzirah, which is the level, he says, of a Ruach, you have to have a complete tikkun in all the neurantchi of Nefesh. V'lifnei zer lo yikabel as a Ruach. And if you don't have a tikkun in all of the different parts of that, you won't be able to make a tikkun in Olam Yetzirah. So even though that it's known, then even though there's a person who the root of his soul is from the very lowest level of Malchus, in other words, the Malchus of Malchus, he says, his words are, min shenafsho, shorsha, his root, he min Malchus d'Asiyah. It's the Malchus of the lowest world. B'yesh min yesod asiyah. Then there's also, he has something from the yesod of the ad akesed. He has different parts. Im kol zecha b'tzark sheyisaken kol ish v'ish kol klolos olam asiyah. Now let's see what he means to say. He says, Dahainu, that is to say, a person has to be able to make a tikkun as called bechinus and nefashos, all the aspects of nefashos, shehem kol bechinus asiyah mishor shalo, from its root. Now it still needs explanation. What else? Dahainu, that is to say, sheyisaknim is called a malchios, he should make a tikkun in all of the different malchios, or ha-yisodos, shebehei partzufi asiyah, shem shorsha. Now, I have to read this again, because I'm not sure that I understood what he said. He says, let's go up here. He says, Im calls that sark shiyasachim call each, every single individual, even though, he says, call klalos olam asiyah, all of the different general categories of asiyah. Now, I want to explain, what does he mean by making a tikkun in the different attitudes, categories of asiyah? The hain, that is to say, as called bechinus and nefashos, all the aspects of the nefashos, shehem called bechinus ha'asiyah, all the different aspects of asiyah, mishor shalo, from its root. Now, still don't get it yet. Now, here's another try. Behind the sheyisakem is called hamalchus. You should make a tikkun in all of the malchus. Oh, ha-yisodos, or a tikkun in all of the yisodos, should be hey partsufim asiyah, that exist in the 5 different partsufim asiyah, sham shorsha, which is the root. Now, I'm not sure what he's saying here. He's saying that you have within olam asiyah, you have in the rantchi of asiyah, and so the tikkun in the rantchi of asiyah would be to make a tikkun in all the malchus of the ruach, the malchus of the bria, the malchus of the neshama. That was it. The malchus of chaya, etc. Like this. Is that what he means? But it's because until he's able to perfect the malchus of all of these different olamos which are in his world of asiyah, Hashem and the Yetzirah, he can't accept the Ruach that comes from Yetzirah Kedei the Sakno in order to fix that. Because Yetzirah is a much greater light, is greater than all of the power of Asiyah put together. Rotzalomar wants to say like this, Sheshorish Katan Shala Ruach, that the smallest root, I don't know, he says a small root of the Ruach. Let me read again. Rutzaloma, Sheshorish Katan Shal HaRuach Shemina Yitzira, that the smallest root of the Ruach that comes from Yitzira, who Golo Mekol Bechidas HaNefesh, so it's greater than all of the lights of Nefesh combined. So therefore, if you just poured it right into the Nefesh, it would break it. It couldn't handle it. So therefore, a tikkun has to be established in those 5 different gradients within Olam Asiyah, that is in the Rantchi of Asiyah. The Nefesh, that is the Nefesh aspect of the Nefesh aspect of the Ruach, like that. So he said, Bechinas ha-Nefesh shemin Asiyah. After sheyizka the Bechinas ha-Gedoyla, so therefore the general rule is like this. You can't receive the light from the level that's up above you. until you make a complete tikkun in the aspect which is below it. Because everything has to be according to the order of these different levels. This is Baruch Fleischman, and this has been the 5th Shaar, month of Elul, in Shaar Hagilulim.